Welcome back, everybody. I'm the old man.
Zelfless.
And it's time to the beginning of the end. That's what this is, finally, after a very long road and some debugging.
So we made progress last time. We
did, and big progress. If this was an Xbox game, that would be an achievement.
That would be awesome. I love achievements.
Achievements?
Achievements.
An achievement is when you've eaten all of the types of cheese in a certain area. Then you get an achievement.
Awesome.
I would like some achievements, actually. That sounds really good.
So, on Christmas, my wife made frittatas, as y'all know. And,
they don't know. I know, because I was there.
Yes, you and your wife know. And I wasn't a big fan. And then I found out, well, it was because there was egg and not bread. And so today, I'm going to try another frittata. I still didn't like it. Even though I knew that it was egg and not bread.
Well, my wife tonight made some broccoli and cheese soup, and it was really delicious. I had 2 bowls full.
Well, I ate way too many starches for my supper tonight. It was twice baked mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese, and my mother's recipe, and lots of ham. Starchy part.
That sounds good, though. I would have liked all of that.
You were there because I would have eaten less.
Could have been, but you never called.
I was waiting for you to call me.
I was waiting for you to call me.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get this down next time.
We're gonna have to learn how to communicate like an old married couple.
We already are. We just don't communicate. Old married couples probably frequently do not communicate as much as you think they do.
That's true. We probably communicate more like an old married couple than we would if we communicated.
I have nothing to say to that. We're awesome.
You should communicate with your spouse. That's the moral of that story.
I would love to communicate with my spouse. I never can come up with anything to say though.
Well,
we're starting on the 2nd floor this time.
Hey, cool. 2 of 60.
There are,
I don't know how many you said.
Let's go back. Okay, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, so
that's the number right until top of the elevator.
Not 60 then. Okay, cool. Can't remember what I was going to say. Something about
couple communication. You love your wife more than anything else in the world.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah. At some point, you do kind of. Sometimes you run out of story, and then you're like, "Hey, did I tell you? Yeah, I know. You told me." And then she goes to tell you a story, and like, yeah, you told me.
Yeah, I've noticed that people who talk a lot usually repeat their stories. It is very annoying.
Well, then don't ever talk to my father-in-law because he is the master of repeating stories.
Well, my wife likes to repeat herself stories as well, and I've gotten used to it. So, that's okay. I love her. I don't love your father-in-law, but I've only met him once. But your wife is very important, who is the daughter of your father-in-law.
Yes. And let me tell you how many times I've heard the story. Which stories have I heard? I've heard the story of when he went to go get gas and got her a slushie and handed her the slushie, and it was raining, and she just grabbed the slushie and closed the door in his face when she was really little. And then I heard the story about they wanted a Barbie car, and so she had this egg, and she was like, magic, near and far, turn this egg into a Barbie car. She was this wasn't like last week or anything.
Yeah, it was only 2 years ago.
It was only 2 years ago. But I've heard that story so many times. And then he'll always preface this with, I don't know if I told you. And I don't want to be like rude and be like, yes, you told me. You always tell me. You tell me every time you're here. You have told me.
Well, I think I've told you this. My mother-in-law has a saying. Anytime she asks a question, she once you answer her, she goes and says, well, I didn't know. And I always scream in my head, well, of course you didn't. You asked me a question. But every single time she asks a question, she always says that. So
Well, I didn't know.
Yes, you do. I'm sure I have told you that.
My father-in-law's other sort of verbal tick that he gets from his mother is always says there and whenever he's talking about anything at all, he'll be like something there and well there, and it's usually a historical fact because he's like a savant with history. Yeah, like he knows more about Japan than Japanese people history-wise. So he'll tell you some obscure little fact, and then he'll be there, and the ancient Phoenicians there, and they used to do such and such, and it's like just random stuff. You'll sit there, watch TV, and he'll bust out some factoid for you. It can be very entertaining.
Awesome. I enjoy learning things.
You can hang out with him, and you'll learn a lot. He's got a podcast on Southeast Asia.
Oh, awesome.
Not listen to that at all, because I know you're not going to.
I'll look that up as soon as I have a free podcast.
I'll look that up as soon as I care.
I'm sure he appreciates all of his listeners.
I'm sure he does. I know if I appreciate my watchers and listeners, so I'm sure he does too. Oh, and I figured out why I got a bump in views, because Hunter said he shared one of my videos on some discussion board or whatever, and so that's why I got that uptick for a little while.
Thank you, Hunter.
Yes, thank you, Hunter. Feel free to share. Everybody and anybody can share on anything. On Pornhub if you want to. Whatever gets views. Oh, I think people clicking on it would be disappointed.
No, never.
Well, I wanted to see boobies, but I guess the Shadowrun's good enough.
Well, they put weird stuff on Pornhub.
Really? Tell us about that.
Well, no.
What did they put on there, Doug?
They put, like, illegal software and stuff. I don't know. I keep hearing it in my tech news. Oh, something or another.
On this tech.
Yes, that's one of my podcasts I listen to every day of the week.
A Pornhub podcast? What are you talking about on a podcast? It kind of would defeat the purpose of having anything if it was a Pornhub podcast.
Daily Tech News Show.
Oh, okay.
Tom Merritt. Been doing it for years. They just did a retro one.
That's what she said.
They were acting like they were in 1983, and they were going through the news in 1983. It was a little.
That actually sounds kind of interesting.
Well, it was a little interesting. I looked to it for about 10 minutes. And I was like, okay, I've had enough. So, as much as I really enjoy listening to them, I really enjoy listening for the modern news.
I haven't been keeping up on my podcasts because I just don't have the time anymore, and I just don't have the time.
I do that. I do Daily Audio Bible, and I do.
Then you do your Pornhub.
Those are my two daily ones. I do Freakonomics, and I do Pixels, which is a video game one from a Lebanese Frenchman.
Huh.
Oh, and then he also does a kind of a world news where he gathers people from throughout the world, different countries in the world. My favorite guest of his is Turkey from
Turkey?
No, Saudi Arabia. I'm sorry, Saudi Arabia. But they talk about different things that are happening in each other's countries, and so frequently America. As you know, we have a lot of things happening here. No, not all terrible. I see puppy videos occasionally and stuff, but nonetheless.
Sometimes I almost go a whole day without hearing something dumb that Trump did.
Trump? Who's that?
Some guy I heard about. He was in Home Alone 2, I think.
He was. I watched that the other day. No. It was the Cinema Sins on Home Alone 2, and they had them there, and they added 1 billion sins.
Oh, and I guess he's got a board game, Trump the Game.
But no.
I don't think I'd really. I'm not really interested in getting that. Oh, I got a board game called Sagrada, which is pretty fun. That Lexi actually won.
I think I know that one. What's the purpose of it?
The purpose is you're rolling dice to make a stained glass window, And so you have this like board that's your window, and then you roll the dice, and then each person gets a turn to draft dice, and you have to like specific restrictions on where you can place your dice on your window. And then there's objectives to do to get points and tools you can use to help you and all that sort of stuff.
Well, I lied. Have never seen that game in my life. However, another comment about board games: why in the world is Settlers of Catan so expensive?
I don't know. I got
been around so long, and I kind of want it because it's a staple game, which is probably why it's so expensive. But
why is Ticket to Ride still $50? I mean, that's another kind of popular staple, and I would totally buy it, but $50 is just a lot.
I totally wouldn't buy it, and I would refuse anytime you ask if I want to play Tickets to Ride.
Wow. Because apparently have some. What did Ticket to Ride? Where did Ticket to Ride touch you?
I watched it on with Will Wheaton.
Oh, Tabletop.
Thank you. And it looked very, very, very boring to me.
But you haven't ever played it. You don't know if it's boring.
Yeah, but I've never tried things either, and I still won't eat them. Like frog legs, I put them on my plate, and I looked at them, and I looked at them some more, and I finally was like, yeah, they'll just go in the trash.
I see. I wouldn't even go that far and put them on my plate. That would be gross.
Well, it was at a Southern buffet here in town, and it's not for me. Though I did try haggis in Scotland, and that's a bunch of parts within a sheep's stomach cooked to perfection, and it tasted like hamburger meat. So if you ever have haggis, just try it. Of course, you might want to salute the haggis with whiskey before, like it's traditionally done. And apparently, I'm talking like I know what I'm talking about, but that's what they did, at least on my tour of Scotland whenever I was in high school. And by the way, I went to Scotland, and instead of going to Cancun with my classmates, I figured that might be a little more fun to go with my parents.
Well, I did not know that.
Yeah, well, it was fun. And guess what? They all went to Cancun so they could go and drink. And guess what I could do whenever I was in Scotland?
You drank?
I could drink. You don't want to know why? Because usually and frequently of these European countries, if you can see over the bar, you can have a drink. And I can see over the bar.
Yum.
However, whiskey, it burns. I ended up giving my whiskey to my father, as did my mother. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would really like whiskey. In fact, I can't remember. It was one Christmas I had something that my wife gave me, and it was like, at first it was like awful, like why would you do this to yourself? And then I kind of got that warm feeling in my chest, and I was like, oh, okay, well this part I kind of like, but the initial like searing down your throat part, I'm not a fan of that. This was like a couple of years ago. We had that like whipped cream, something or other vodka.
Interesting. What were y'all
doing? We're drinking whipped cream vodka.
I was trying to get into something else.
I think it was when you made the Jello shots. Yes.
My wife has found she enjoys drinking my amaretto straight, whereas I enjoy putting sweet and sour mix in it. We'll see who's the man, who's the girl. With that, I like the fruity mix straight. She'll drink it straight. Of course, when I was younger, I used to drink it straight too, but I prefer what I prefer. Kind of like I don't like drinking plain coffee. I like drinking coffee from Ileana's, which has ice cream, something or another.
I don't really like coffee at all, and I only really like the alcohol the thing you make. But that's good. I like that. I could drink a couple of those.
Yeah, I need to buy some more amaretto before New Year's Eve.
Yes, you do.
So you can go to the county line with me. Congratulations, you enjoyed it last time.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's just surprising. I used almost an entire bottle this entire year. I went and looked in the cabinet. And I was like, wow, a lot of this is gone now. Must have been a bad year.
Yeah, sometimes Yeah, I know I'm having a bad time when all the cereal in the house disappears. That's when I know I'm having problems.
Yeah, my wife and kids like to eat cereal for supper, so I can't say that.
I would eat it for all meals. I would eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Doesn't seem like it would be a very healthy meal though.
It's not.
If you're trying to like diet or something.
Oh, well, no, I'm not going to. Once I go back on my diet, I'm not going to be eating cereal all the time.
I'm trying to suggest you need to go on a diet. My wife eats.
I need to go on a diet.
So
I need to go on a diet. When I can't wear the shirt that my work gave me because it shrank in the wash and now I'm too fat to wear it, I need to go on a diet.
Well, I'm going to join the Y, I think. Me and my wife are going to go on Friday so she can tour the facilities, but I went and found out that a two adult household can join the Y for only $600 a year, minus my state employee, which is okay. But that me, my wife, and my daughter can go and work out on the equipment and do all the classes, and my son could do Zumba classes, which apparently is some type of dancing class. I don't know.
And your son is going to do this dancing class?
Yeah, he didn't look happy about it, but I was like, you can go ahead and do it. They also have a kid.
To be fair, if you know how to dance, that does help you with the ladies, so that might be an encouragement.
Yeah, I don't know if the dancing they're going to be teaching in that class is really the lady dancing part, but
it'll help with his karate.
Taekwondo.
It's same difference.
No, it's not. Taekwondo came from Korea.
Chop socky.
My friend / co-worker's in South Korea right now. Your wife knows him. She's a big fan of him.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, I've heard all about him.
But they had a big fire there, and I was actually very concerned because it was like at a gym. I was like, he loves going to the gym. I hope he's okay.
Oh gosh, that's terrible.
I watched the BBC. I read the BBC News app because they give me news and not opinions.
Yeah, I really need to start looking at because I'm the news that I'm looking at is like just super depressing. And maybe I need to start reading the BBC News. I don't know if that's less different.
Well, it's still the news.
Yeah.
So but it's just not opinionated news. It's facts. Because apparently, like they brought 2 Fox News people to court because they were too opinionated.
Yeah, it's gotten even to the point I've read where like Fox News doesn't really even claim to be actual news. It's like more just commentary. And that's all my mom will watch.
Well, I say you should probably, if you're not going to go to the international news like I have, going to reviewing Fox News and CNN at the same time should get you at a happy middle, maybe.
Usually I usually just go on Google News and then like CNN, and those are the 2 that I usually. But I'm gonna start adding BBC to the mix now. Is it just you just do the BBC, just BBC News, or?
Yeah, there's an app for BBC News. Yeah, and
BBC
a website too.
That's probably where I'll go then.
Everyone has a website now.
Who doesn't have a website?
I have several that I don't use. GeoCities went away though. I was really a little sad about that.
I used to have a Zanga. Did you have a Zanga?
I don't know. I don't even recognize the name.
Zanga is how I met my wife. We both had Zanga blogs.
Well, now you could just use the Tinder app. And y'all can go swipe whatever direction that would be. Right?
But we've already found each other, so we really wouldn't need to use Tinder, would we?
Well, y'all should go and put up different photos of yourselves and just put y'all's personal thing and see if y'all can find each other again.
That sounds suspiciously like the plot to the Pina Colada song.
I don't reckon. The only Pina Colada song I know is the.
You feel like Pina Colada. Yeah, that's what it is. It's they took out an ad looking for somebody because they were gonna cheat, but then they found the person that answered the ad was the person that they were with.
That sounds very depressing, and I should probably go and read those lyrics.
It's dumb. Don't even bother. I just told you all you need to know. and so you never have to hear the song.
Well, I mean, there are lots of songs that I enjoy that like from the '90s and stuff, like Atlanta Morissette, that I didn't ever realize what they were talking about. So.
Really? Because I think it'd be pretty obvious what Alanis Morissette's talking about.
You would think that my mother wouldn't allow that song to be played on. Was there a radio version, maybe? Because, I mean, there's no, I'd be riding in the car with my mother and those songs would be on. I don't recall her quickly turning it.
Mom, what does going down on somebody in a theater mean? Is this truly ironic?
Well, that song,
Where is my other hand in my pocket? And other Alanis Morissette songs as well.
Was ironic from Lana?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was off the Jagged Little Pill album. That was her big thing.
No, I remember that came out whenever I was in, I think, 6th grade, and it was great then. But now, now that I know that it's not ironic at all, other than the fact the song's called ironic and it's not. I have a single ironic statement in it is ironic.
I will, yeah. I was gonna say it is ironic that nothing in the song "Ironic" is ironic. That is very ironic.
Yes.
I always wanted to rewrite that with stuff that was like actually ironic, because that would be amusing. I'm sure somebody's done that. I'll have to look on YouTube.
No, it's impossible.
I'm the only person that's ever thought of doing that. I'm sure that's the case.
Yes.
Because I am, if nothing, original. Wholly original and unique.
By the way, this is kind of like Minesweeper.
Yeah, I know. I think we covered that.
Headway.
Dear.
Because it shows 2 ICs found, and so the ICs are. Dang it!
Did you jack out too early? Well, here, let's cut it for here, and then you can go jack back in the next video.
I know, I enjoy doing that.
See you next time.